7:50 Monday, and we're going to call the meeting to order. Start off with public comment. Do we have any public comment, Ray?
Not for this section, no.
No. Okay, so we'll close public comment, start with the regular agenda. Comments regarding items on the regular agenda may be made by the public when each item is discussed as outlined above. To participate, please sign in prior to the beginning of the meeting. Speakers will be called in the order they are signed in. Comments are limited to less than 3 minutes. Applicants, proponents, and appellants are exempt from the time limit above and instead must limit their remarks to less than 5 minutes. On number 1, consider approving the February 2nd, 2026 Zoning Board of Adjustment meeting minutes. Do you have any questions or a motion to approve?
What? I make a motion that we approve.
Second.
Okay, motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, 6-0. All right, item number 1, ZBA 25-17, 3325 North Haven Court. A request for approval of a variance from section 501A for a 14-foot front setback in lieu of the required 25 feet for a carport in the single-family residential RS1 zoning district.
Good afternoon, Ray Lineberry, lead planner. This is our one and only case today. And this is 3325 North Haven Court, Riverside Neighborhood, District 2, Joseph. It is RS1 zoning, single family. The vision plan is neighborhood. It is 0.242 acres. The request is for approval of a front yard setback of 14 instead of 25. We did mail out 31 notices. We received one in favor, which is the owner. So this is the site plan. As you can see, the property is kind of diagonal. So the 14-foot would cover the other side also because not as much was required on that one. This is for a carport to cover the vehicles. So with that, staff analyzed it, and while the lot is at an angle and they do not have an alley, the lot is double the standard size of a regular RS1 lot. The property is sufficient in size. The surrounding properties, there are two, I want to say down, about 2 houses down, I think it is, that do have carports. I did check. They both were permitted. They both were inspected and passed. So they, according to their site plan, do meet the 25-foot setback. So everybody else abides by the zoning regulations. Correct. Yeah. So literal interpretation would not deprive the applicant of rights commonly enjoyed by other lots in RS1. So with that, staff is recommending denial. Is there any questions?
Anybody have any questions for Ray?
I know we can't see it from the overhead. Those cars are parked in front of a garage, am I correct?
Correct.
All right, thank you.
Any other questions for Ray?
Ray, you were saying that the others that do have permitted and everything is good, but you're saying they meet that requirement already?
Correct.
Okay.
One of them I wanted to say is at 30 feet, and then the other one was like right at 25. I think it was 26 feet back. And I do have this slide if you are thinking of approving, just for help.
Could I ask you something?
Yes.
Do you have pictures of the other carports? Are they in the front or are they on the side? Do you know?
I did not include them.
Do you have him on your notice slide?
On that first, right.
Is it 3333 and 3321
Looks like
or no?
3333
So it is this
one
one and this one.
Okay.
that are already set back further on the lot.
Yes, these two currently have carports, and they can meet the 25-foot setback.
If you want to see pictures, I've got some on my phone.
You have someone?
I do.
Can you see them? No? Okay.
Yeah, that's
That's one of them. And that's the other one. Because they're clearly way back.
Way back.
Yeah. Now, and I think those lots are even weirder design because it's right there where that cul-de-sac is. So they're even kind of a little stranger shape. But I went by and looked, and they're further, they're back.
Back.
I didn't get out and measure because I'm not wandering through somebody's yard, but yeah. I didn't think anybody was home going to take a shot at me, but. But I drove through the rest of that neighborhood, and there's not another, I didn't see another covered carport in the entire little section in all those streets. Other than those two, and then the request for this one.
Is the applicant here?
Yes.
Do you have any
Is there a regulation as far as how tall it can be? Like, one of those is pretty tall.
I mean, in RS1 zoning, we have a height limit of 35 feet.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's,
Yeah, I don't think it was 35 feet.
And they are not in the open structure overlay zone, so we would not have design criteria.
They're what, 2 blocks off-ish?
Correct. Yeah, about 2 blocks.
Okay, does anyone have any more questions for Ray?
no.
Thank you, Ray.
And I can move this if you want me to move it to any other picture while you talk.
Do we have any public comment?
Rocky Templin has signed up if he wants to speak.
We'll open it up to public comment. If you'll please state your name for the record, Rocky.
Rocky Templin, single member District 6. Those other 2 carports, 3333 and 3337, are both on the long side of the lot, where this driveway happens to be on the short side of the lot. 3337 only meets the setback by the long side of their lot. In the middle of their lot, that carport's actually too close to the curb. So therefore it doesn't meet it. So, if you measured this house, looks like in the middle, which is about 42.8, and you built a 20-foot carport, you'd have 22.8. So he'd only be asking for a variance for 1 foot 4 inches. And so it looked like with the other 2 going down the street that this one would kind of conform with the one at 3337. And so that the front of the lot is the shape of the lot. So it is at an angle, and his driveway being on the short side versus the long side does make him handicapped that I see. Thank you.
Thank you, Rocky. Do we have any more public comment?
That's all we have unless the applicant wants to talk or answer questions.
Does the applicant want to say anything?
Believe so right now, I'm only asking for what, 2
No? Okay, so we're going to close public comment. All right, let's talk about it.
So can we go to the picture, the very first one, instead of that, please, ma'am? That's okay. That one. That one right there. Okay. So Rocky evidently was inside my head saying everything that I had planned to say today. But I do think that the applicant has some disabilities, let's say, with the lot. I think all of those houses with the angle of the lot makes him susceptible to a lot of things that they may wish that they had. And with the driveway being on the opposite side, that prevents them from just going and building it. So that's why we're here today. And I would like to make a motion to accept what is this? Variance.
I will second the motion to approve.
What is the structure at 3321? Is that a carport also?
It is a carport, and if this house was honestly, the way I'm looking at it, correct me if I'm wrong, if it was flipped and the garage was on the other side, they wouldn't need a variance, would they?
Correct.
Because of the way it's built on the lot.
Correct.
So we do have a motion and we have a second. Are you ready to take a vote?
So with this, in order to allow the variance, we need to cite some of the pillars. I'm going to assume that it would be overriding public interest or what?
I think the special circumstances result because of where the house is placed on the lot and the lot size.
Okay, I see what you're
Exists on the
saying.
property related to size, shape, area, topography, that one.
Okay.
So we have a motion, we have a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Which one, Ken? Nay? Okay. So 5-1.
Yeah, that fails,
That's
so
denied.
recall that you have to have 6 to approve a variance.
Okay, we're going to move on to the division report.
Good afternoon, Aaron Benoit, Director of Planning and Development Services. Just letting you all know that we are moving forward with some initiatives that we've been in some committees that are dealing with adding some additional zoning districts, which would allow some flexibility for smaller size lots. We are also working through a double frontage item that, after working with the committee, it's basically looking at the front yard being I'm going to say 25 feet, but depending on the zoning district, some zoning districts may have a shorter front yard, and the adjacent yard to the adjacent road would be a standard of 10 feet from. And then if the right-of-way is more than 10 feet, they could go down to up to 5 feet on the side property line. Now, those are those residential areas. We don't apply double frontage to commercial, because commercial can actually go all the way to the property line. So we don't apply that to commercial. So it's really some of these that come in for double frontage, and we're trying to reduce the amount of those double frontages coming in. We have had, as you guys know, a lot of discussion over carports over the years, all the way from the open structure overlay. We've had a couple of instances where we have expanded the open structure overlay. I do believe there is a desire from some on council that would like us to look at the open structure overlay or carports in general and say either they're allowed or they're not allowed in front yards. So, and that would be a fun discussion. We won't get to that till probably fall, as we have some other initiatives coming forward, but we will start looking at that. So if you have some opinions or thoughts, and obviously we have different the original one was designed for older parts of neighborhoods. Not sure exactly when this neighborhood developed, maybe mid-'80s, maybe the late '80s. The open structure was not designed for them, but maybe it's now appropriate for them. And so now we have to make that decision for our community. The other thing that we have coming up is that we're getting ready to kick off our comprehensive plan update. You'll see an agenda item tomorrow for us to engage with a vendor that we've selected through a process of folks going through a request for qualifications. So we're very excited about that. It's our first comprehensive plan update since the early 2000s. And it's what guides us through our ordinances, through our capital improvement projects, all of those things. It's the policy document of how our city operates. And so it's very, very critical, and we'll be needing lots of citizen input because that is a citizen-driven document. So other than that, the team is working really, really hard. We're very excited about our staff members. Unfortunately, Arden Neff has got an opportunity to add another place, and she's moving on from us. This is her last week. But we were very pleased that she was able to work with us. And of course, y'all have met Daniel, I think maybe the last meeting, so we're very excited. So we will have a planner position open, so we'll be needing to fill that here shortly. So with that, Chairwoman, do you have any questions for us or the staff?
do not. Mhm. All right, if that's everything, then we'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.